Evolution Outdoors has some new products that they released recently. Some of these things are a few months old, but as you can imagine, we don't always see everything the minute it gets out. I actually saw these down at ICAST, and I thought they were pretty cool. They weren't like a new release at ICAST, but I thought they were pretty cool, so I figured we'd talk about it. It is the Ballistics Hanger 3.7D tackle tray. So it's a tackle tray, except the slots inside of them, as you can see here, are angled. I thought this looked pretty cool. What this essentially allows you to do is it's a different, unique way to be able to store your hard baits or anything that's got those treble hooks. And you can see there's a lot of different places you can put these little cards. You can see they're stacked up over here, but you can space them out however you want. In that way, you actually get more space because it's kind of at an angle rather than being straight up and down. And it allows them to hang there and not wiggle around and turn into kind of like a ball of hooks type of mess. Waterproof container they're showcasing here, how easily removable these things are. So if you want to check these out or have checked them out, drop it down below. Let me know. I'm debating picking something like this up. I think it would be cool. I would love if they came out with one where there was even a lot thinner, like a lot more adjustment ability there, more slots in it. And think about these for like ice fishing spoons would be pretty cool. Those look neat. Less tangling of the treble hooks. Sputtle butt, yes, for sure. Of the ballistic cases, have them in the drift bag. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So that was actually the next thing. Jumping on top of it, John. I love it, man. So the other thing I was going to talk about was the drift bag, the drift series of bags that they have here. So it sounds like you have it. I just saw this as well for the first time that I at least recognized here. And what I like about it is it just has a buckle and you can get to your cases. There's no like unzipping stuff. It just makes it super easy and accessible. Do you have, John, you have this bag? Maybe in a different color or something? How do you like it? Sounds like you like it pretty well. But I thought this was a pretty cool concept. I specifically like it. I don't typically use a backpack bag like this on my boat, but like if I do shore fishing or anything like that or go on somebody else's boat, this could be a pretty good option. The other thing I'm thinking is like for ice fishing, this will work great because these are built for 3600 size cases. And so like if you've got it in your sled, unbuckle, grab your stuff, put it in, buckle it, and you're good to go. So let me know. Looks like they've got a couple of different color options. That bag upgraded from the Lose Mock bag. Okay, awesome, cool. So anyways, so that's a couple of things here on the new arrivals tab from Evolution Outdoor. I will link everything down below if you want to go check it out. Yeah, so those are pretty cool there. Next up, we've got, and I know I don't talk a lot about tackle and baits and those types of things, but there are a few in here because I just kind of got that bug being down at ICAST. So Z-Man, this was one of the baits that I saw down there that I thought was just absolutely awesome. It's the Swag LT. It is available in fall 2025. And I think there's a video here that I'll play kind of explaining it to you. But the whole idea here is it's a line through bait. So you can actually put a line through it. And then on the top, you can actually have where you have a single hook, or you can have a line go down through it. So that way you have a double hook down here. You'll see this treble hook does have a clip treble on it. There's a reason for it. Let me play the video here. I think this video will explain it. So
the harness swim bait draws fish that other baits don't. There's been so many issues with all the harness baits that led us to want to make a bait that's better.
We identified a few different ways in which we could make, in our opinion, the best harness swim bait on the market. The Swag LT. To have a top hook line through, a bottom hook line through.
It has a hybrid wedge tail, so I'm able to burn it as fast as I can reel. It doesn't blow out, and I barely turn the handle, and it keeps kicking. How many harness-style swim baits will do that for you?
You can now use speed to engage fish, trigger strikes. Opens up the range of possibilities.
Smoked it. Jeez.
Just a formidable new tool.
Devoured the swag. There's no question that fish off the bait was real, you know. Swag LT is going to change the way you look at a harness swim bait. We've made a lot of changes, improvements to the current idea of a harness swim bait that existed.
Z-Man has a long history of making a unique tail. We created a hybrid between a wedge tail and a T-tail.
Jose worked really hard on coming up with a lot of different tails and came up with this tail design that opens up the speed window, which is one of the biggest problems we've seen in a lot of the harness swim baits out there. They only really work right at one speed, whereas this bait, it works at any speed.
You can burn it or you
A pretty
can
long
slow
video.
roll.
I'm going to pop around in here a little bit. There's one thing I want to show you, and I think it's this part right here. So we're going to look at this part, and then we're going to keep moving on here. We've got a few
Configurations.
products to show.
It's a one-piece harness inside of it there that'll be polycarbonate.
And this internal harness gives you the ability to have a top hook line through or a bottom hook line through. The top hook line through works really well in cover.
The top hook has even surprised me. A lot more weedless than I even would have thought. It really comes through stuff extremely well.
If you're fishing riprap, the way this head is designed, it kind of bounces off the rocks and remains very weedless. We also give you the treble hook option. So this is a bottom hook treble that is also line through connected to the harness. Your treble hook will come clipped.
The treble hook that's cut is designed to poke in. There's a little dot right here. It will poke it into that little dot, and it's going to hold.
So in this harness, there's two pieces of polycarbonate on the side that acts as kind of like a bowling lane bumper per se. So it prevents this hook from being able to rotate this way, and the two pins prevent the hook from being able to rotate this way. The result of this is a really secure connection, but it's one that still deploys very easily when you get a fish on.
So how cool is that? Let me know what you think. I think these are something that I'm going to be trying out here and picking up. It looks like they've got them. They're going to have them in a 5-inch, in a 6-inch. I'll probably go with the 5-inch. These are brand new. They just came out, as you can see here, new arrival right from Z-Man's website. But they're going to have a ton of different colors here. So yes, something worthwhile if you are a swim bait kind of guy like I am. Whenever I do target bass, I love this type of bait. So I think this is pretty innovative and worth trying out. They're not cheap, though. They are coming in at... Here we go. Did it say it right there? I thought it did. I want to say they're 15 bucks. But I don't know where it says. But anyways, I'll have them linked down below in case you want to check them out. Next up, a new piece of gear is from Railblaza. They announced this at ICAST. I just thought there's a lot of people that bring their phones out with them, whether it's ice fishing, whether it's on your machine, whether it's on the boat or whatever. They have a new gridlock phone holder. What's really cool about this is it's supposedly the tightest gripping phone holder out there. So if you're, jumping around on the waves, hitting some crazy stuff out there, or you're on a kayak, or your machine in the winter, it actually has a fine-tune adjustment knob here. So like you get your phone in there and you can actually crank it down pretty good and it ain't moving. So this is a pretty cool thing from Railblaza that they've announced, but it's not yet available for sale. It will be for $75 when it comes out, so it is not cheap, but it uses like stainless steel hardware, like all that stuff. So it's a high-end premium phone holder, but I just want to let you know because I thought it was a pretty cool thing, and it uses their Railblaza, the Star base that they have, and they've got a ton of things, really cool things on their website in case you want to check them out. Garmin also, we got a lot of new products we're going to zip through here. Garmin announced their Force Kraken series 110-inch trolling motor. That's right, the Force Kraken is now in 110 inches, which is the longest trolling motor that they've released to date, the shaft length. I get this is primarily for people that are using like coastal boats and those types of things, but some of you may own yachts, on like Lake Minnetonka or in the Great Lakes, and you need a trolling motor. And now it's here. No, more than anything, just want to show that they continue to expand the selection of what they've got. If we pop open the actual Garmin website here, it's available in black and white, $6,500, but you can see it is 110 inches. No other new features on it. It's still the standard Garmin Force Kraken, which is their highest end premium model that they have out. Of course, they have the Garmin Force Pro that came out as well, more so for like bass boats. Very similar features between the two. So if you're one of those guys that needs 110-inch shaft length on your trolling motor and in the Garmin ecosystem, this could be spot on right for you. Next up, Northland Tackle announced the new twitching puppet. So this is what those look like here. I do have a short little video here. So I'll show you a short little video here. This article didn't do a super great job outlining it because it's saying it's available in 2 weights, question mark and quarter. I think it's kind of funny, but you can see all the different color patterns here that they're showcasing. And it actually looks like a pretty solid bait that you saw probably in the thumbnail here. But let me show you this reel from Northland Tackle here. This is Brosdahl in here. Let me share this up here. You should be able to hear it when I click play.
That one just sucked in the twitching puppet. This comes in 2 sizes and some match to hatch colors. Fantastic. It's a hit. I love that thing. Twitching puppet. If you like catching big perch and panfish, you're going to have to get some of these and buy a lot of colors, because let me tell you something. If you like big perch like I do, that's what you want. I love how these perform. You just barely move them and they really lunge out forward. The perch love them. They come in 2 sizes, 1/8 and 1/4. And I tell you what, for jumbo perch, super big crappies, bluegills. I've even used them in open water, and I've pitched them over weed beds where you can't let them sink too far, and you can walk the dog back really easy. Love it. Twitching puppet is a
So that's the twitching puppet from Northland Fishing Tackle. What I love about this is the size of it. It's great for multi-species. I mean, dude, you can catch walleyes on this thing, right? Let's not joke around. And it's great because you can use it for open water and ice fishing. So it's great to be able to use your baits year round. I know most people that watch the show also do ice fishing. So pretty exciting there. This is baits.com. You'll see I link a lot of things now moving forward to baits.com. I did get set up with them so that way I can get like short links. I'm going to see if I can get some promo codes for you guys to be able to save a little bit whenever you're buying baits. But they have the widest selection and some of the best prices. So we'll go ahead and use baits.com. I mean, you can buy it from anywhere you want, and I'll link wherever I can find the best prices. But like as an example, baits.com already has it, and it's not even out available for sale yet. So it's kind of nice to see what these baits look like. So this one obviously looks pretty cool. It looks reminiscent of several different ones that are out on the market. But this one I think is a little bit unique, and you can see price point for the 1/8 ounce is $8.99, the 1/4 ounce is $9.99, and you can see, of course, all the different colors that they've got here. Super glow red, golden perch. You can pick what you want there once they're available. One of the other really cool things about the baits.com website that they've got that I actually just noticed tonight as I was preparing for the live here is they've got, if you go to, and I'll link it down below, but iCast 2025. This is a page of all of the new baits that were talked about and anything that they would carry on their website that was talked about at iCast 2025. So if you want to scan the list and see what's there, of course, you're going to see a lot of things that's out of stock because they were just announced. They don't have the inventory yet. It's being shipped in, but you can at least look at it. You can see what the price is going to be. You can read about it. So we've got a lot of different things here. Big Bite Baits, Bill Lewis, Buka Brands, Buckeye Lures, Cuda, Frog Factory, Northland Tackle's got quite a few things. Let's see, iCast 2025, Northland Tackle. They've got the tungsten bobber jig. Interesting. I know nothing about this. This is my first time actually seeing this. I didn't actually even know that Northland Tackle was at the show. I didn't stop by their booth, but it looks like they've got a new bobber jig. kind of cool. I might have to do a little bit of searching on that and see what that's all about. The scope float, I know I didn't talk about it. In fact, now as I'm sitting here, I had a list of other things that I wanted to go through tonight. Maybe we'll go through them next week. But this is one of the new things that was announced at the show. It's got dimples in it like a golf ball. And the whole idea is that it is the whole reason why golf balls have the dimples in them is because of the way that they travel through the air. So there's more control. The whole thought here is that if you're throwing your bobber, you're going to have more control as well if you have that same type of dimple pattern on it. So kind of cool. That is from Northland Tackle as well. Let's see what else they got, because Northland Tackle usually has kind of like that overlapping thing. So like the tungsten forge minnow spoon, you can definitely use this open water, but you can also use it ice fishing. So this is the tungsten forge minnow that they came out with. We can see the twitching puppet that we already talked about. And then there's a new buckshot rattle spoon. Did you know that they have a new one? Well, the buckshot rattle spoon is deadly in both hard and open water fishing for vertical jigging perch, walleye, trout, bass, and pike. Jig aggressively in a lift fall manner to call fish from wide radius and make them strike. Tip with your favorite live baits like minnow heads and waxworms. It's molded from metal, features a noisy brass buckshot rattle that lures the fish from a wide radius. It thumbsticks. I don't know what's new about it. There must be something new about it. Maybe the way that it's made or something like that. So we'll get more detail on that. A lot of this stuff we'll find out more as ice season gets closer as well. But I've got to do a little bit more digging, and maybe next week we'll dial back into some of these things. But I'll link the ICAST 2025 baits page so you can go through it. There's a ton of pages here, as you can see. So that's baits.com. Another new product that came out that I'm excited about because I think these things are pretty cool is the fuzzy nut. This is from Yamamoto. This is the 1.5-inch fuzzy nut. It is a dice style bait that you can kind of see here. Let me see. I thought I had a better way. Yep. Baits.com again, of course. So this is what it looks like. I still have not purchased any of these tentacle-like dice style baits yet. The fuzzy nut is a small bait. It is intended to be used for like spotted bass, largemouth, smallmouth, those types of things. So if you are interested in checking these out, these are new as well. So of course they're not on shelves yet, but there's a lot of these things kind of hitting the market, and they're kind of like the new fresh thing. I think what's really cool about it is the way that these look in the water. Is it looks like, especially if you're near like mossy type areas where you've got like some floating stuff in the water, it literally looks like it's part of the ecosystem, just with a hook through it, and you should be able to hook up pretty well. So if you're interested in picking up some of the fuzzy nuts, go ahead, check that out. All right, something new that we'll spend a little bit of time here on, because I think this is absolutely incredible. I am going to be putting out a dedicated video on this within the next couple of weeks here. So this is from Bubba. We've all heard of Bubba Blades, right? They have partnered with MLF, or Major League Fishing, in order to launch the Score Tracker Live. So it says Bubba X Major League Fishing, bringing professional level tournament hosting capability and the thrill of live score tracking to anglers, tournament organizers, and fans everywhere. This is not only for bass fishermen that want to watch MLF, but this is for all open water fishing, all kayak fishermen, all ice fishermen, basically any fisher person. This is going to be great for you. And let me tell you why. And I have no affiliation with this brand at all. But here's what is really cool. So it is app-based. It's not available yet. It will be available in spring of next year. They told me like late February, March, early April timeframe when I talked to them at ICAST, but it'll be available both on Android and iOS. And the way that this works, like in the back of my head, I was thinking of like, if you live in this part of the country, you're probably familiar with like Fish Donkey as an example, right? And there's some other like Tourney X, I think, is another one that's primarily more in like kayak bass fishing. I think this is going to take the cake and probably knock all of those out, would be my guess. But let's see how it actually turns out. So you can organize any tournament. Let me zooming in, doesn't really do a whole lot. I think it actually makes it worse. So organize any tournament organizer can build, host, and manage their own custom Score Tracker Live tournament. So What does this mean? If you wanted to host a tournament, if I wanted to host a tournament, if anybody wanted to host one, anybody can. All you do is you go in there and then you start doing a tournament. The way that it works is you can have entry fees like you normally do in these tournaments, because then you do have like prize payouts, those types of things. And, your fee is normally $10, $20, something like that. Well, the way that this works is to support the platform, the scoring, and like everything that needs to happen in the platform is there's a $4.99 fee. So if it's a $10 tournament, it'll turn out to be $14.99 for everybody that enters. And that makes it so that way anybody can organize tournaments. And it's not like the organizer has to put out a $100, $200, $500 bill in order to host a tournament. And that's similar to Fish Donkey. The way Fish Donkey works is they actually have a fee that they add on. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's 10% or something like that. So whatever the amount is, they actually add that on. So when you're paying for your entry fee into the tournament, so that is very similar. So anybody can organize a tournament. That's great. You can compete. So you can feel the thrill and intensity of Major League Fishing with live real-time score tracker leaderboards in the Bubba app. So this looked like, well, I was kind of looking at their demos of it there at iCast. This looked way more detailed and better laid out than what I've seen from any of the apps that are out there today. So you've got a lot more detail on there. You're getting better live real-time updates in it. It's a much more polished app that they have, and it's still in, prototype phases because it's not live out there yet. But it's pretty dang cool. The third thing that you can do here, and so compete is basically if you enter into a tournament, because there's the organizers and then the people competing. And if you're competing in a tournament, you want to know, like, how am I doing? How am I ranked against everybody else? And it can give you alerts. If you get passed up, it can do kind of all those things, which is great. Spectate. So fans can feel the thrill of MLF Score Tracker in any tournament by following along with real-time leaderboard updates. Live basically is what it says. I don't know why it's cut off back there, but it's live in the app. So this is showing you for Major League Fishing specifically, as the tournament's going on, you can actually watch the live tournament score. So if you're one of those people that likes watching those tournaments, you can actually see it here. I asked specifically around things like geolocation. They said they have a very advanced system that is built into it, that if a organizer wanted to say you can only fish Lake of the Woods, it would not allow you to enter fish that are, if you're entering them, you're not inside of the area, the bounds of Lake of the Woods. So it will know that in the app. It will not share your location with the organizer or anybody else. The exception to that, and they said they got that under like lock and key, like their engineers are the only ones that, like, after a lot of work, maybe they'd be able to dig into it, but like it's realistically not possible. The exception here is you can set it up so that way, like with MLF, you'll see, I don't know if they have a example image of it here. I don't think that they do. But with MLF, one of the cool things is you can actually see where people are on the map, and they can use this app for Major League Fishing to be able to show that information to make it more engaging for people that are watching live. So we already talked about organizing it and hosting, setting up like total number of participants that you want to have included, naming it, how long you want to do it, single angler, crew angler, competing, you can see in here. Now, here's what's interesting about the competing aspect of it. When you go to enter a fish, they've got a bunch of different ways to enter a fish. You can actually enter a fish with one of their scales. So they have 2 scales that are Bluetooth scales that will actually sync directly to the app. So if you catch a fish, you can actually weigh it, and the weight will go into the app, and then you can just take a picture of the fish. So you could do catch, weigh, release, or the other thing that you can do is catch, measure, release. So similar to like what you would see out of like a Fish Donkey. So the organizer can set and configure all of that up in the app, so you can do all of those things. The goal here is to allow more people to engage in these fun tournaments, to have it more accessible, to have it integrated in with different things like weighing a device with an accurate weight scale. I think there's a lot of like issues with weighing, so I'm a big fan of like the measuring, unless you got like MLF where you've actually got somebody in the boat that's doing the weighing for you, that's like an official in the tournament. But I think that's pretty cool. You can see how they do first place, largest catch, least catch, biggest catch. Like you can do all that stuff in the app. So I'm really excited to see this hit. I'm a little bit sad about the fact that it will not actually go live until spring. So we're not going to be able to try out this ice season, but next open water season, you better bet yourself we're going to be trying it out. And the next ice season, we'll be trying it out as well. So if you're interested, I will have a video dedicated on this. It'll probably be a short 5-10 minute video or whatever that comes out in the next couple of weeks talking about it. And then of course, when it hits live, we'll talk about it there as well. Next up, we've got Trika. Let me get this pulled up here. Give me 1 second. Trika has expanded where they sell their rods and reels, believe it or not, which is really exciting. Give me 1 second here. I don't know why Amazon is having such a hard time here. Here we go. 1 second. So Trika was at ICAST. And one of the things with Trika being at ICAST that had me really confused is that Trika, as you know, specifically talked about previously, one of the ways that they could have their rods be priced the way that they are is because they go direct to consumer. They don't go through distributors. They don't sell in retail where any distributor, any retailer, they want a margin on the product, right? They're not selling $100 a rod for $100 and making no money on it, right? They want to buy it at $60, $70, $80, make $20, $30, $40 when they sell it for that MSRP at $100, which means then Trika makes less money because they have to cut their wholesale price down, so they lose on margin. So what I thought was really interesting is Trika had a big banner. I took a picture of it. I don't have it accessible right now, but they had a big banner there that said, now basically looking for retailers to sell in. Talk to them. Sounds like they'll probably be in Shields in the future here, as well as several other retailers. So that's exciting. They're also, I just found, obviously, as we can see here, they're on Amazon. You can right now go on Amazon and buy a rod, one of their rods. It's $369.99 for the 6X. The 3X you can see here is $269. So it'll be interesting to see how these perform on Amazon versus their website. I think these are a little bit more expensive than their website, maybe by $10 or $20. But it'll be interesting to see when they do sales, if they have them in par, what the price on their website is versus in retail. I imagine they're going to be priced together. But what I asked them is, are we going to see prices go up now that you're starting to sell in retail and on Amazon and all of those things? And they said, no. They said, in fact, what is actually happening is because of the cost increases around shipping, they're actually very close to being at the same rate of margin, if you will, if they can ship, 20 rods to a retailer and then not have to pay shipping direct to an end user because they have free shipping over, I think, $150 on their website. So they're eating all of that cost, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, however much it is. I have no clue, to ship a rod plus the packaging for the rod and, processing the order. Now retailers can just sell it and you walk out the door with it. So they save all of that shipping expense and instead give that to the retailer as their margin on the product. So they can actually continue to sell at the same price. So I thought that was really interesting. I'm a big fan of the Trika rods and reels that they have. I have some of their 6X and their 10X, as well as a couple of their reels, and I absolutely love them. So if you're interested in Trika, you can now potentially get them on Amazon as well. But double check Trika.com as well, because I'll link it down below, because their website prices, I think, are a little bit cheaper. All right, next topic is more of a news topic. We've got BRP continues to exit from the marine business, which we knew about. They've been talking about it, but this is the latest in the evolution of them selling off pieces of their business. So I'll read just a couple of these paragraphs here to give you the recap and what we're seeing today. Canadian manufacturer BRP has signed a definitive agreement for the sale of its Manitou pontoon boats assets in Lansing, Michigan. The buyer is the Marcotte family, which owns Bentley Pontoons. So Bentley Pontoons is purchasing Manitou pontoons from BRP. The move follows a suit of sell-offs as BRP follows a broader strategy to exit the marine sector, which we knew. They're dumping the marine sector, and they're going to focus on their power sports operations. In April, BRP, as we remember, because we talked about it, BRP agreed to sell Alumacraft, the Alumacraft boat brand they were selling to the Brighton Marine Group, which is a family-owned company operating in Washington State and British Columbia, Canada. The day prior to that, in April, BRP sold its aluminum boat brand Telwater to Yamaha Motor Australia, a subsidiary of Yamaha Motor. And then it kind of goes through financial results and all of that here. But this is the latest and greatest. This was one of the big brands that they had left, Manitou, that they are now selling off, as we can see, to the Marcotte family in Bentley Pontoons. This is a good spot for it to land. This is what Manitou pontoons are, if you haven't heard of them. They look very similar to like your, I think they're the Sea-Doo pontoons that they started making, kind of the jet powered ones. But you can see there's a lot of similarity in what these ones look like in terms of the customization, the way the deck is built out and whatnot. But they're not cheap. Like 2025 Cruise, $47,295, so $48,000. I'll click on it. And this is considered the value one. Let's take a look at their value one. So you can see very similar to the Sea-Doo pontoons they started making in terms of having your plastic back deck here. This has got the Rotomax motor built into it. So this is not a jet motor, obviously. But you do have your single console here. You've got your Bimini top on the top. So it's really nice, but it is also $47,000. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it lands with Bentley pontoons, but that is where they're at. Let's see, what is their highest end? Luxury, $175,000. All right, let's move past that. This is an interesting topic that I wanted to kind of chat through. And yes, we're getting the ice fishing deals. UK fishing boom reels in new fans as Temu, I think is the way that you pronounce it. I always pronounced it Temu. That is not how you pronounce it. I think it's Temu. Temu is the way to pronounce it, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, gear cast wide appeal. So in the UK, this is National Fishing Month. The UK is once again entering its best season for recreational angling. Platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are flooded with videos of enthusiastic creators showcasing their fishing hauls, with the search term fishing equipment list up 600% according to Google Trends, and the hashtag fishing has appeared on TikTok a huge 11 million times. So good to know. UK, I guess this is the time to fish there. Influencers and everyday hobbyists alike are sharing their catches and gear reviews, among whom many highlight products from Temu for their affordability and surprising quality. This is the thing that's got me, which is why I wanted to talk about it. Affordability, I think we all understood. Surprising quality, to me, is surprising that they're talking about quality. But get this. They've got a ton of different, like Stu is one of these fishing enthusiasts on YouTube, spent nearly a year testing an unusual piece of gear, a fishing rod small enough to fit in his pocket, drawn in by the low price and the novelty. He took on a challenge with the fishing rod from Temu. It folds out from a pen-like shell into surprisingly functional rod, complete with a miniature beach caster reel. Armed with float rig, sweet corn, maggots, and determination, he set off on a multi-day challenge to see how many species he could catch. What began as a curiosity became a viral example of what's possible with affordable, beginner-friendly gear, and lit up the comment section with excitement from new returning anglers alike. And what's interesting is it's just one example of how Temu has become the go-to platform for fishing enthusiasts. TikTok accounts that we'll see here have an interest with a playful yet impressive clip showing off catches made with their rods. So it's got big growth and small price tags. What I think is really interesting is this part here. According to a recent IPSOS survey, Ipsos, more than 80% of UK Temu users say the platform offers good value, and about 4 in 10 expect to spend more this year. The average user reports 25% savings on purchases in 2024. So, this is all about the fact that Temu is actually getting credibility for having quality products. Let me know. Have any of you used it? Any of you bought stuff from their website? What do you think so far? Have you had good success with it? I've always looked at it as just like cheap Chinese knockoffs. Like, we know these things aren't made in America, but like, is that something that interests you? Like, are you guys interested in cheaper priced gear that just works? You don't really care where it comes from? I'd be interested because I'd be open to. Temu has reached out to me, I think 3 times in the past year, wanting me to do something with them, and I've just always kind of put it off as like, yeah, probably not the thing that a lot of my audience would be interested in. But let me know. Would you guys be interested if we did some kind of challenge or gear testing of their stuff? Or not? Let me know. I'd love your guys' feedback. And if you've used them before to buy stuff, I know a lot of people use them like for hooks and weights and lures, because you can usually buy things for like half the price of what they are here in the US. So let me know down below. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. All right. You want to talk ice fishing gear sale? There is a brand that we all know, Clam. Clam Outdoors today announced, at least that's when I saw it, today announced a sale on ice fishing gear. So, of course, this Fortis net is not ice fishing gear. I don't know why it's here. But the mini light stick from $69 down to $29.99. This is the light rod that you can put up. It's got clips if you want in your ice house, from $70 down to $30. This one says it's currently out of stock, so maybe they should remove it from their sale. But they've got rod holders from $5 down to 99 cents. The fish trap removable floor from 130 down to $40. So as we can see here, they're putting things on sale and they're clearancing them out that I think they're just not going to carry anymore. So that would be my guess. I heard rumors that this year we should see a more refined selection from Clam, from Blackfish and all of that. So I think they're in this like transitional period where they're getting rid of a lot of stuff that they're just not going to carry anymore. And so Clam is the one that has the sale going on right now. And you can see they've got a ton of different things going on. The center console for your shelter is currently from 25 down to 20. Like, these are the types of prices you will see at ice shows. Like, that's the type of prices we're seeing here. DC plug with alligator clips. So if you want to go from like a cigarette lighter type thing to having a red and black alligator clip that can clip on anything to power it, $2.99 down from $8. ATV auger bracket from 70 down to 50. The Pro Series hitch mounting kit from 70 down to 30. And you can, like, I'm not going to keep going through this stuff, but like, you can see how much they've got on sale in the type of things that are on sale right now. And a lot of it is ice fishing stuff, ice fishing tackle pouches. So this clips around your rod, so that way your lure doesn't get messed up if you leave it on your rod, from $5 down to $2.99. If you fish with mono, this could be one of the best deals that I've seen in a long time online. I'm a huge fan of the Frost Ice line. I only use the fluorocarbon because I'm a big fluorocarbon guy. I'm not big on monofilament, but if you're a monofilament kind of guy or gal, look at this. Frost Ice monofilament fishing line. It's the bulk spool, normally $120, $29.99. How much line's on this? 2,000 yards of monofilament line. And this is high quality line. Like, this is my favorite ice fishing line. Again, in fluoro, I don't use the mono, but if you're a mono person, I think you're going to really like it. And you literally cannot beat this price. Like, that is pretty crazy. That's almost $1 per, well, it's $1.50 per 100 yards is what it comes out to. How cool is that? So anyways, go check out Clam Outdoors if on their website. I will have it linked down below to their sale page where they're blowing some stuff out right now. We'll have to talk about it next week because I totally omitted a whole list that I had ready for tonight as well. But Clam came out with, I wonder if we can find it here. Tip up light. They came out with a new tip up this last week. And I think it was a 360 tip up. Let's see if we can find it here. Tip ups. It had a 360 light on it. And of course, it's not on their website. So Clam announced a new ice fishing tip up this year that essentially was like this trophy terminal tip up that has a big, like, circular cylinder up here where the flag is. And it's got LED lights all the way around it that will light up, obviously, super bright when your tip up goes up. And there was a lot of people kind of jiving on, like, wouldn't it be cool if it stayed on like really dim as like red or something like that? And then when a fish came, it started blinking and like green or something like that. It'd be a low power draw. So kind of interesting. We'll talk about that new product from Clam Outdoors. I've also got some new videos coming out around some ice fishing stuff. I'm going to have a top 10, or I'm going to have a roundup of all the ice fishing gear that I saw at ICAST coming out in the next couple of weeks as well. And in that, I'll tell you a little bit of some of the secrets that I heard from some of the brands that aren't yet announcing some of their stuff, but they didn't tell me I couldn't say anything. And I'm not under NDA with some of these brands, so I can talk about it. So you're going to find out about that in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned to the channel. I know it feels really weird. We're in the middle of July and we're talking about ice fishing stuff, but let me tell you this. If you are a diehard ice fisherman, you could talk about it all year, right? It doesn't mean you can't go out on your boat. You can't go fish from the dock. You can't go on the, on your kayak this weekend. You absolutely can. I'm planning on it, but you can get excited about the cold weather stuff. I know I do. And to wrap up, one of the deals that's going on right now, we always talk about the Fish USA deals because sometimes these are just really dang good deals. I'll have it linked down below. The page that I'll have linked down below updates every day to whatever their deal of the day is at Fish USA. Right now, today, 15% off all Rapala lures, which is pretty freaking awesome. So let me know down in the comments what you think your favorite products are out of the show tonight. Are you excited about some of them Clam ice fishing deals? Let me know down below. And then if you've seen any new ice fishing gear or products that you want us to share with everybody else, always hit me up, email, IM, DM, comment, whatever works. But until next time, I appreciate each and every one of you. We're dropping videos every single night right now. So I think I've dropped a video the last 2 nights. Check out the channel. Stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, and hopefully you'll get populated those things. We announced yesterday a video on the brand new StrikeMaster auger was just announced at ICAST. There's no content anywhere on the internet about it that I've seen other than the video that I published last night, literally almost 24 hours ago. So go check that out. It's the StrikeMaster 40 volt Maven. It will be replacing the StrikeMaster 40 volt auger that they've got now. They've just got to sell through those. They're going to hit stores. The Maven's going to hit stores this fall. But if you want to know as gear gets announced, and sometimes even before, you need to stay tuned to the channel. And we do this for open water and ice fishing gear. So thank you all so very much for tuning in, supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Take it easy, tight lines, and see you tomorrow in the video that posts. Take it easy.